some of your clips in this episode because you let them have it too. Like, you're not playing with them.
In fiscal year 25, DOE illegally shifted funds between programs, particularly within the Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy account. The Building and Technologies Office lost over $180 million, which is 50% of the funding that Congress intended. And DOE's decision to pull that funding directly ignored the specific levels appropriated by Congress and signed into law by President Trump. Mr. Novak, you would agree that Congress holds the congressional authority to appropriate funds, right?
Correct. The Constitution commits appropriations to Congress.
Did DOE move fiscal year 25 funds away from the Building Technologies Office despite what Congress intended?
I'll have to take that question under for the record.
I would appreciate that because it is completely unacceptable for an agency to ignore the law and redirect congressionally mandated funding to support the Secretary's personal agenda. And I think as General Counsel, you would agree with that. I have been very concerned by the lack of responsiveness that I've heard from the administration, particularly from the Department of Energy. And I recognize I'm in the minority party, but I'm a member of Congress too, who has oversight over your agency. And I certainly would hope that when Democratic members of Congress ask questions to the agency and our legislative liaisons, that we get answers. And when we don't, every time I see you, I'm going to ask you those questions directly.
For the first time, voters in Virginia have chosen a black woman to serve in Congress. Her name is Jasmine McClellan. She won yesterday's special election in the state's 4th congressional district, covering much of southern Virginia.
History was made last night in Virginia. McClellan will be the first black woman to represent Virginia in Congress.
A more production.
Stocks or real estate?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
Okay. If you had to pick one, though.
If I had to, real estate.
How much do Congress people get paid?
That is public information.
Okay.
It's
I'm so excited. This is a very special interview for me. Because you are one of the people, you were probably one of the first people in Congress who I saw speak live at a Chamber RVA event.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't even remember what you were talking about, but you were so like you were kind of like this bigger than life type of person, because I researched you a little bit before I came, and how passionate you are about all of the things that we don't hear in history books. And I'm kind of deviating away from my introduction here, but
that's okay.
You were speaking about a time where I believe your grandfather went to vote.
Great-grandfather. Yeah.
Your great-grandfather.
Yeah.
And he needed to pass a literacy test.
Mm-hmm.
3 white men had to verify that he was good character.
Mm-hmm.
And when he took it to whoever was going to verify the paperwork that he had, because he passed the literacy test with flying colors, you said that the person said, we need more questions for this literacy test, or better questions for this literacy test, because this nigger got them all right.
Mm-hmm.
And that story behind why you're so passionate about voting rights and why you're so passionate about the things that really move our country forward and backward. I think that having someone like you in office that looks like me, it makes things a little more visceral. It makes things a little more like tangible. It's like, okay, we can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times the issues that you bring up, sometimes you bring them up in a way that we can understand. Because I'm not super well versed in politics, but you bring them up. So I want to give you your flowers with that. And with that, let me do my little bio now.
Okay.
From she could be, to she should be, to she is. Jennifer McClellan fulfilled a dream. She spoke at 11 years old. A dream countless ancestors prayed for long before she was born. In 2023, she made history as the first Black woman elected to Congress from Virginia, carrying forward a legacy of resilience, possibility, and progress. A Petersburg native, shaped by parents who served their community at Virginia State University, McClellan rose from a valedictorian of Matoka High School to the University of Richmond and the University of Virginia School of Law. For nearly 20 years, she represented the Richmond area, first in the House of Delegates, then in the Senate, becoming the first pregnant person to serve in the General Assembly, and passing more than 370 impactful bills, expanding voting rights, protecting workers, defending reproductive freedom, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth, and confronting climate change.
Mm-hmm.
Now serving on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, she continues fighting for healthcare access, lower energy costs, and a livable future for all Virginians. Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan, welcome to the Conversations on Her podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
How are you feeling?
Excellent.
Yeah?
It is first of all, I'm on holiday.
Yeah. Y'all, she came to see us on a holiday.
I did,
okay.
Yes. Getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to really ground myself in what I'm thankful for every day. And that's my family and the best job I've ever had. It's the hardest job I've ever had, but it's the best job I've ever had. And, being able to serve my community in a way that brings all my, not just my life experiences, but as you said, my ancestors, my parents, my grandparents' experiences, and just be a voice for people who for a long time haven't had a voice in Congress. So
Yeah.
I'm excellent because I'm grateful for all of that.
Yeah. And we were talking a little bit about Jasmine Crockett because I've been a little bit obsessed with her content lately. And you've said that, you know, sometimes they're better at getting viral moments and better at getting viral clips. And I'm going to put some of your clips in this episode because you let them have it too. Like, you're not playing with them.
I think maybe if more than 7% of members of Congress were mothers of young children, we would actually adopt policies that helped families. I almost died in childbirth. I almost became that statistic of a Black woman who is 3 times as likely to die from childbirth complications. People will die. And that's what's at stake.
So why do you think that gets more attention than what our girl, I mean, not our girl, you know.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep it professional. But the leather jacket is given. So I'm like, our girl.
Thank you.
Congresswoman McClellan. That gets a little bit more attention than the stuff that you put.
So I think a couple of reasons. I think that, Jasmine sits on the House Oversight Committee, which tends to have more viral moments. The issues that they deal with, they have a lot of very strong personalities.
To say the least.
And moments where they, fight more. So I think for Jasmine, and she's a little better at alliteration than I am.
No.
So, when she had her B6 moment with Marjorie Taylor Greene, that kind of took off.
You the one talking about,
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen, it's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
I'm trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike those words.
I had no idea what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do it.
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what y'all do.
So I think that's the main reason why.
Okay.
Because energy and commerce, it's, we don't necessarily deal with issues that are immediately in the news, but they definitely have a huge impact on people's lives. But I think the Oversight Committee is a little more entertaining. So people's eyes are on that committee a little bit more and a little less so on energy and commerce.
I mean, energy and commerce, that's a pretty big field.
It is.
Though.
It is.
It's what moves the world.
It is what moves the world. It's the largest jurisdiction. One of the former chairs, John Dingell, he'd point at the globe and he'd say, that's our jurisdiction. And, he would say, if it moves, it's energy. If it doesn't, it's commerce. So we deal with everything from healthcare, energy, technology, communications, trade, sports. Lots of issues come through there.
Okay.
But some of them, I sit on the energy subcommittee. Those hearings are not exciting.
Yeah.
They're important.
But
they're, not a lot of people going to be watching that on C-SPAN.
I got you. And then I want to get to, I sent you some questions, but we just came out of the government shutdown.
Yes.
And I want to talk about, during the government shutdown, you introduced a Virginia mom affected by Medicaid cuts and noted if more than 7% of Congress were mothers with young children, we would actually adopt policies that help families. Period. Clock that. Given that the current government shutdown was now the longest in U.S. history and that President Trump is publicly blaming Democrats for it, what is your perspective on this situation and how would you clarify the factors behind the shutdown?
So I think it's important to understand that Republicans are in control of the White House, the House, and the Senate. So there was a government shutdown because they chose to shut down the government rather than keep millions of Americans from losing their health insurance because they can't afford the premiums. They put forward a funding bill that really hurt a lot of American people and basically said, vote for this.
And we were like, no, we're not voting for that. We're going to vote for a bill that actually addresses the needs of the American people, including their healthcare needs. And so not only did they shut down the government, but Speaker Johnson, like, he canceled votes and committee hearings, and the House didn't do any work on the Hill for over 50 days, which is unprecedented. At least the Senate kept coming in and kept trying to negotiate a deal. And they finally just forced Democrats to basically choose between suffering federal workers and hungry families and people who can't afford health insurance. So, no matter what, people were going to suffer. And I think at the end of the day, the 8 Senate Democrats said, all right, well, we're going to, go ahead and reopen the government. They got some protections for federal workers and said, we're going to kick this can down the road to January and see if you will actually negotiate a deal on the health insurance premiums. And if not, we might be back in a shutdown again.
So did they ever come to a conclusion? Okay, let me tell you my theory. I think it's interesting that the Epstein files are now ready to be released.
Maybe.
After the government shutdown.
Maybe.
I think, maybe.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting that that's a part of the conversation now.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of talk about the health insurance, which is crazy. The professions that won't be considered professional anymore. And I'm a nurse, so it impacts me directly. And also the professionals that won't be considered professional, social work, nursing, I believe a speech therapist, or I may be getting that one wrong, but women mainly make up the majority of those fields. Yep. How did that happen? What happened? I know you're like I didn't do it.
I think it's part of a broader effort by the Trump administration. It's just a callousness and they just don't care about the working class.
Yeah.
And the reason that it makes such a difference is I call it the big ugly law, that big massive monstrosity.
Yeah.
It capped a lifetime cap on student loans and made certain exceptions for professional degrees. So by shifting these degrees out of the professional category, that means that those folks will have a lower cap than if you're going to medical school or anything. And so I think it's part of a broader plan to shift federal investment from working class people to the wealthy. They're just trying to figure out how to find money to make millionaires and billionaires even richer on the backs of working class people.
So how do we stop that? Is there anything we can do?
Yes. I mean, first, elections are coming up.
Yeah.
Midterm elections are coming up in November of 2026. And if you want a check, Congress right now is not a check on this president because the congressional Republicans don't want to be. And so they're not doing their job under the Constitution to check, what he's doing on anything. So number one, vote and understand how important your vote is, but also reaching out to your member of Congress to tell them what your priorities are. And even if you think your member is going to agree with you, because I get, for the people who live in the 4th District, I get a list every day. Here are the issues that people are calling in and how many people have called in on. I get a report at the end of the week. And there's so much going on, and my team and I can't focus on everything, but those calls help us see, is there an issue bubbling up that we might not be focused on that we need to be focused on? And so making your voice heard, and then a lot of people wonder, do the protests really matter? They do, because people see that the American people don't like what this president is doing. So all of that is important. But recognize change is not going to come overnight. So we got to be persistent in everything that we do.
Yeah. Okay. So we need to get out and vote and protest. So I was watching the Jimmy Kimmel show. Stacey Abrams, love Stacey Abrams. She was talking about the 10 steps to autocracy, like 10 steps or 10 ways that usually democracy turns into a dictatorship.
You went viral for laying out 10 steps to autocracy. Run us through those steps so we all know.
Okay, so
This happens in every nation that has become an autocracy, having been a democracy. So start with winning an election. Usually the last one you're going to get to have for real. Number two, you have an expansion of executive power. The president decides he wants more than he's supposed to have. Number three, you start to make the Congress complicit. So you weaken them and you neutralize or neuter the judiciary. Like, oh, I don't know, the Supreme Court giving you unfettered power and saying we don't have the ability to stop things. Then you move on to firing all of the people who know how to make government work. So you gut the civil service. And you do that because you want to break democracy so people forget the stuff that used to get done, so you can't get your Social Security check. So the CDC doesn't know what diseases are anymore. Then you put in place these loyalists, people who are only responsive to you. You put them in charge of the FBI so they go after your enemies. You put them in charge of the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, so they can signal to their friends and tell them all about the evil plans that you have. Then you make certain that you break how we communicate. So you criticize the media and you create your own echo chamber of propaganda. You call it truth even though you know you're lying. Then you go to the next step, and I call that step 7. Because at step 7, you have to blame someone. You have to blame people for the broken government, for the broken promises. So you go after DEI. You go after the vulnerable, the dispossessed. You go after any community that doesn't look like what you think power should be. While you're doing that, you make certain that you, in step 8, you eliminate anybody who could help them. So you sue law firms that do pro bono cases. You go after philanthropies and accuse them of giving money to the wrong people. You go after colleges and universities that can teach people possibly what else they should know. You get to step 9 and you start to encourage and incentivize private violence. You send the U.S. Marines into spaces they should not be. You send the National Guard in. You kidnap people off of the streets and pretend that's normal, because that's how you quiet dissent, because you make everyone afraid that if they don't do what you want, they might be next. And once you've done those 9 steps, step 10 is easy. That's when you decide there won't be new elections, because everyone's either afraid, poor, broken, or complicit.
What are your thoughts on this?
She's right. She's right. I would add another step is taking over control of the media.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really trying to weaponize rights to quash rights. So all of that is happening.
Yeah.
Now,
scary.
How do we stop it? I ultimately believe in the people, and the people have the power to stop it. But we have to understand how fragile American democracy is. We're not yet 250 years old. The idea that the power of government derives from the people is not yet 250 years old. And it is being, that idea is being stress tested to the breaking point right now. But ultimately, it's going to be the people who decide, do we keep it? Which is what, Benjamin Franklin said after the Constitutional Convention when asked, like, what have you wrought? He said, a republic if we can keep it. And so that's why it is critically important. And a government by, of, and for the people, government only reflects the perspective and therefore meets the needs of the people who participate. So all the things that I talked about that people should be doing, that's ultimately going to be a check. And we see that happening. The president's polling numbers are in the tank. The election results this past November, not just in Virginia, but New Jersey and California and Pennsylvania, 2 seats in the Mississippi state legislature flipped. And so, and the Trump administration has lost more lawsuits than it's won. So while we are being stress tested to the breaking point, if the people decide we want to keep our republic and we're going to fight back, then we'll keep it. We've been here before as a country. A lot of people don't.
They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it definitely
rhymes. We have been here before and we have survived. I have faith we will survive again, but it's an all hands on deck moment to make sure we do.
Yeah. And I was talking to my other group of friends about this earlier, and we were talking about like how Trump gets a lot of passes for the things that he does, and Obama got ran through the ringer for wearing a tan suit.
President came out addressing reporters on Thursday, and he was wearing this tan suit.
I think it was shocking to a lot of people. Is this an effort to make him look warmer?
And putting his feet on
and putting it
on the Resolute desk, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just not fair. So for somebody who is a nurse who, you know, I'm being her. I wouldn't have been able to get school without funding.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and that industry we need more nurses.
We do.
So somebody like that who's being affected by these things that are in place, and then seeing how a president can come in and literally like pretty much try to rewrite the Constitution.
He literally tried that. He literally tried that. He tried
it's
to
scary.
rewrite the 14th Amendment to change birthright citizenship. Now the courts haven't let him do it.
Yeah.
But he tried.
Yeah. All right. Well, we go lighten it up a little bit.
Yes, let's lighten it up.
I have this or that segment question because it is a financial based show.
Yes.
But we have you here, so we had to bridge the issues for a second.
Yeah.
This or that. Stocks or real estate?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
Okay. If you had to pick one though.
If I had to, real estate.
Okay. Salary or ownership?
So no, you want me to give short answers.
No, you're good.
I really think it depends on your personal strengths. Ownership.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Ownership, if you have the wherewithal and the discipline to do estimated tax payments and like all the things that you need to do. If you don't, salary. Like I have always been a salaried employee and I don't know that I would have the wherewithal to be an owner. So it just depends on you and what your strengths are.
Save or invest?
If you had to choose though, save.
Okay.
But I always recommend doing both. Take a little bit and set it aside and save it and then invest a little bit.
Okay.
You know, my parents were older. My parents lived through the Depression.
Yeah.
My dad was born in 1925 and he remembered, he was old enough to remember before and after the crash. And his father pretty much lost everything because he invested in a lot, but he also used everything as collateral for the next loan that he needed.
I got you.
And when the crash came and they had no savings, like he had to completely rebuild everything. My mom was born in the middle of the Depression. So that has always made me think you need to do both. You need to have a nest egg. We don't know what's going to happen with Social Security. We don't know what's going to happen with these retirement accounts. So you have to have something saved for that emergency moment. And then you invest to grow the rest. So I always do both.
Yeah. And I think that's good for people to know, to not just go all in on just one. Because I think that when it comes to the ownership conversation, I don't think it's had enough in the Black community.
Exactly.
We are told to go to school, get a good job, and work for someone until you're like whatever, 65 and a half, whatever the retirement age is now. And then you retire with like your pension or something. Or some people, I haven't heard a conversation brought up about like starting your own business and like being able to create your own legacy. And like, because we all say, okay, go to school and get a tech degree, work for Apple, work for Google, work for Tesla. But I don't see the Black-owned Apple or Teslas or
That's true.
Googles.
That's a good point. And and it's funny because my grandfather was an owner, right?
Yeah. What did he own?
He owned a nightclub,
dope,
an apartment building, his own law practice, a newspaper.
Wow. But he lost it.
He lost it all during the Depression, and then he wasn't a lawyer yet, so he didn't have the law practice. But he lost everything, including his wife. My grandmother passed away, and then he went back to school, became a lawyer, and then started his own law practice. I think my dad recognized the instability of that, and he went the salary route. He started out as a preacher and then became an educator and was a college professor. And he was like, I don't feel the need to own anything because I saw my father lose everything. Now, I think, again, it all depends on your comfort with risk, but you're 100% right. And that's why I say it's really important to own property too. But that all comes from just the experience that my family
that shaped
had.
you.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all products of our environment in that way. So, and we can go deep. We can go deep on this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go to the next one.
Okay.
Cash or credit?
Cash. My dad told me. credit is for convenience. Do not run up more debt than you can pay off at a moment's notice.
Okay.
I have not always listened to that.
Yeah, of course not.
But
Yeah.
cash.
I was told cash is king, credit is queen.
Oh, yeah.
Because you need cash. So like when I was doing a bunch of investing in real estate, it's like, yeah, I can get this $260,000 property, which is my house. I'm so happy to have that. But I don't have $260,000, but I do have good credit. Yeah, I got a down payment.
Yeah, sometimes credit's not.
It's leverage.
Sometimes credit is unavoidable.
Yeah, you have to use it for things like that.
Yeah,
but I did have good credit and ran it up too. Sometimes shopping, so it goes both ways.
Easy to do. Yeah.
Side hustle or 9 to 5?
Both.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that one.
Yeah, both.
You got to have both.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a side hustle?
So technically, government. I mean, when I was in the state legislature, that was a part-time job. So I was a full-time lawyer, 9 to 5, sort of.
Yeah.
And then a legislator on the side, which is part of why I like being in Congress now, because my 9 to 5 and my side hustle are one and the same.
Are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Generational wealth or instant gratification?
Generational wealth.
Yeah, that's all. Okay. Student loans.
Mm-hmm.
Pay it off fast or stretch it out?
Pay it off fast.
Really?
You'll pay less.
I'm going to say stretch it out.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends if you can.
If you can pay it off fast.
Not everybody can, but I mean, the longer you stretch it out, the more interest you pay.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking of it more like let's just say I have $30,000 and my student loans are $25,000. I could put the $25,000 into the student loans, or using my entrepreneurial mind, or I could use it to start a business. I'm always start first with a paying customer, so a business that's in demand. Put money into that, and then make more money off of my $30K than what I would have gave to the student. That's my thought process. Now, it doesn't always work out that way because I know a lot of people who've had that idea and it backfired, and now you owe $60,000. So it goes either way.
Yeah,
but I'm the type of person that'll jump off a building and then I'm pretty sure a parachute will appear from somewhere.
No, see, I'm gonna get the parachute. I'm gonna inspect the parachute.
You are conservative.
I'm like, who packed the parachute? Now let's go.
I love it. Well, that's why you do what you do.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And I'm over here just trying things out. Cryptocurrency or traditional banking?
I think right now the way they're regulated, traditional banking, because I think they're not enough right now.
Yeah,
there are not enough consumer protections with cryptocurrency.
No, absolutely not. As a person in Congress, are you able to disclose if you have crypto or not?
Oh, I have to. I mean, I have. Yeah, members of Congress, we have to disclose pretty much all our financial,
all of your investments. So is it like public opinion? Like
it is.
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay.
Since you brought it up,
I know it's all public. I don't have any cryptocurrency.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Any stocks?
I do. Yeah. So I worked at Verizon for 20 years. And part of
my family did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
most of my family worked at Verizon. And then I was, or they were social workers, and then I became a nurse. And they're like, "What's
going on?
What are you doing?"
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So part of my compensation was stock.
Okay.
So and I never sold it. I sort of use it as my that's my emergency fund. And so,
is it all shares of Verizon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then, my retirement accounts are, who knows what that's invested in, but but I have, a IRA, a 401k, and that's lots of different things, but that's the extent of my stock. I've never gone out and bought stock on my own.
I got you. So you're kind of hands off when it comes to the investments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I'm too conservative.
Mm-mm.
Financially, I'm conservative.
I think that once you get to a certain age, you kind of have to. As a younger person, you can invest more because you have a little bit more time to get it back. Mm-hmm. But if my mom wanted to do mutual funds, sure, that's a safer investment. I'm not doing mutual funds. I'm going straight tech. I'm going Apple. Yeah. I'm going the Vanguard stocks. I would rather use a Vanguard stock than a savings account. That's how.
Interesting.
Because accrues more interest.
Yeah.
Then this is my final one. Financial freedom or financial security?
Security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How? Wait, okay. Can I ask
But what's the difference?
Financial freedom or financial security?
To me, it's the same.
Freedom, I feel like, is I don't really need a job to do the things that I want to do and to take care of my family.
I would love that.
Yeah, right?
I would love that.
And security, well, I guess security is knowing that you're getting money in every month. Like you know that you have enough to pay your bills. So I guess it may be two in the same.
I think again because of how my parents grew up.
Yeah.
And the lessons they learned from that. I think I'd like both, but if I had to choose, I'd want security.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I had to choose, I'm gonna do freedom. It feels, I don't know. It feels good to me. If you don't mind me asking, I know you're not supposed to ask a woman her age, but how old?
I will be 53 in December.
December what?
28th.
December 28th? What is that sign?
Capricorn.
Big Cap.
I am
not the little one.
No, I am all 100% Capricorn.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What are you?
I'm a Taurus.
I can see that.
Can you?
Yeah, my daughter's a Taurus.
Oh, when's her birthday?
She's April 29th.
Okay, so she's an April Taurus. I'm a May Taurus.
Okay.
I've heard that April Taurus are a little different than May Taurus. Like, I feel like May are a little bit more playful. April, they're not gonna play with you. They said what they said. They're not
that's
gonna
my
give
daughter.
you any more chances.
That's
I'm
my
kind of
daughter.
like, okay, you messed me over one time. Okay.
That's true.
I'm gonna let you.
Definitely how my daughter.
I might let you come back, but April, they're not. After you do it one time, they're done.
Oh, she will never let anything go either.
And I think I heard you say that out of your two kids, you have a son and a daughter.
Mhm.
Your daughter would most likely be the politician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My son will be an advocate.
Yeah.
And my daughter will be a politician.
Oh,
she
my
ran
gosh.
for SGA president for the 5th grade. She didn't win though.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I ran too. I didn't win either. It's okay. It's all right.
It's okay.
Try again.
Losing teaches you a lot of important lessons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes. Success is never a straight line. I've
Mhm.
learned that because I used to get really upset when doors closed. And I've just recently strengthened my relationship with God. Because I think as an entrepreneur, you got to lean on something.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to believe in stuff that's not there. You got to see money in your bank account that you haven't earned yet. And you have these big goals and dreams ahead of you that nobody else can see but you.
Yes.
But you need somebody in your life, along with God, of course. But somebody, my grandmother was that person for me. Whatever I did, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Even when I got a speeding ticket, she told me it was because my car was fast. It had nothing to do with me. It was absolutely not my fault. So it's like you need somebody who's delirious with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, guys, we're here with Congresswoman Jennifer McClellan. You fought for reproductive freedom long before you ever entered Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Years ago, you watched Virginia pass a law requiring patients seeking an abortion to undergo an ultrasound,
Mm-hmm.
even in unimaginable circumstances. A close friend of yours suffered a fetal demise in her 7th month of pregnancy, and you remember thinking, if this bill passes, she'll be faced by law to get an ultrasound, to be asked if she wants to hear and see the image of a heartbeat that she knows is not there.
Mm-hmm.
That law passed. For the next 10 years, you fought relentlessly to appeal it and restore dignity to reproductive health care.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For doing that. I was ready to cry. I was ready doing that.
Yeah.
Things like that
Yeah.
don't get talked about a lot.
Mm-mm.
I found it on a random podcast. It was not a random. It was a really good podcast. It was a good episode, but it was probably at the 30-minute mark. And I was like, I need to amplify this because this is the things that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
Apart from being a woman, why was this issue so important for you amongst all of the other things to kind of put on the forefront?
I think it was, you mentioned when we started, I was the first member of the House of Delegates to be pregnant while in office. And I was pregnant when I was in my first trimester when that bill first came to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And that experience opened my eyes to how abortion laws impact the doctor-patient relationship and impact these decisions that government really shouldn't have a place in. And so my doctor started telling me stories of patients. And I always think about how are these policies going to impact people?
Mm-hmm.
And no one was telling those stories, and so I began telling them on the House floor. And people, Democrats, Republicans, independents, all walks of life would stop me in the Capitol, in the grocery store, and say, that happened to me. You told my story. Thank you. And that was the first time those stories were ever told.
Yeah.
On the House floor. And I think because in that moment, not only was I pregnant, but I researched, because I'm a good Capricorn, everything that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
It gave me a perspective that no other delegate at that point had. And I had to use that perspective to be a voice of people who either wouldn't or couldn't tell their own stories.
Okay. Yeah, I had to highlight that part.
Thank you.
Because we appreciate you for that. Now, personal finance. Do you follow a personal budget?
I try to.
You try to? Oh my gosh.
I try to. You know, life be lifing though.
Heck yeah.
And between your car breaks down,
yeah,
you need a new car, your kids grow like weeds, just things happen. But I try to.
Okay. How much do Congress people get paid?
That is public information.
Okay.
It's $175,000, and it has not changed, I think, since the 80s.
Okay.
So, yeah, what's interesting, there is a law that's supposed to give members of Congress COLAs, cost of living adjustments.
Okay.
And every year, the appropriations bills suppress it. So members of Congress have made the same for 20, 30 years.
Okay. And I was doing some research on the debt ceiling, which is trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And my personal issue with that is that if I have a loan on my car payment, right, and I default on that loan, they can come and take my car. But if we hit the top of the debt ceiling, if we spend all of the money in the budget, we just raise it. We just raise the debt ceiling. And I was told, or at least I researched, that the reason why that is because America is not going to ever die. And so we have time. Well, we have time to pay it back. But me, I got a death date.
Well,
so
but
they
think
need
about
my money from me.
Yeah, think about it more like a credit card.
Okay.
Right? So increasing the debt ceiling is like asking for increase in your credit limit. And the choice is you either increase the credit limit or you default on it. And if we default on our national, so the national debt, like who owns it, right? It's in bonds.
Yeah.
It's
other states, or countries.
Other countries.
Yeah.
And if we default on it, then interest rates for everybody will go up, and it would have a lot of really negative effects. Now, does that mean we should continue to just willy-nilly, have deficit spending and keep going up to the debt ceiling? No. And we do need to do more to control the national debt.
Yeah.
And we've done that in the past by, you either got to cut spending or raise taxes or do both. And what frustrates me about the big ugly bill is it says we're gonna do both. Like we're gonna cut taxes and we're gonna cut spending, and we're gonna cut taxes in a way that shifts federal investment from the lowest 10% of wage earners to the top 10% who are already billionaires. And to me, that just wasn't the right thing to do.
Yeah. And I don't fully understand the different branches of Congress and House of Representatives and Senate and how they coincide, but I know that Congress holds the purse.
Yes. So, and the difference is, so you've got you've got the House of, the House of Representatives, which is about 465 people who represent about 750,000 people. We run every 2 years. We're supposed to be the body that's like closest to the people. And then you have the Senate, which is 100, which run every 6 years, and they're supposed to be like the adults in the room, right? So, and it's designed so that so Congress doesn't move faster than the will of the people, right? and it's more deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how. So you have to, for a bill to pass, it has to pass both. So that's how it works. But that also requires whoever is in control, whatever party is in control. At the end of the day, your responsibility is to protect the Constitution, not make sure your party wins. And I think, unfortunately, Congress has gotten to a point where for a lot of people it's more important, like, if I'm a Republican, the Republicans get the win. If I'm a Democrat, the Democrats get the win. It's like, no, we are here to serve the American people. We are here to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now that's getting lost in this like arena, almost sports match like atmosphere.
Yeah. And well, I asked that about, because for one, thank you for breaking it down, because I know people like me don't understand the differences either. But when I say like Congress holds the purse, I know Trump is doing, or the presidency and his cabinet are doing a lot of things to try to decrease spending. Or
shift
cut
it.
spend or shift it.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
No. And let me, so when you say Congress has the purse, so the Constitution says Congress appropriates money, and we do that through a bill.
Yeah.
What the Trump administration is trying to do is Congress passed bills that the president signed saying, this is how we're going to spend this money.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's picking things that he doesn't like, and he just says, well, I'm just not going to spend that money. I'm gonna spend it over here on this other thing. And it's like, but Congress is the one that says how much we spend on what, not the president. So what he is doing, it's something, you may have heard a term called impoundment. That's all that means. Basically, it just means I'm going to ignore what Congress said, and I'm going to spend this money the way that I want to.
That's crazy. What is the consequence for that? Is there any consequence?
There have been a lot of lawsuits. And so he'll say, for example, he said, well, I'm just not going to send to the states and the school divisions the money they're supposed to get under Title I of the education bill. And there was a lawsuit, and the court said, yes, you will. Or he'll get enough pressure from the public and outcry that he'll change his mind. So we are fighting back on a lot of that, and in a lot of cases winning. It just causes so much chaos in the process.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that he'll actually run for a third term?
Well, he can't.
Be able to.
He said he won't. I don't think he wants to. I don't think he enjoys being president.
You don't think he enjoys being president?
I don't.
Really?
Mm-mm. And again, he says he's not going to run again. The House and Senate leaders have made clear, like, it's illegal for him to run again. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But really, have you met him though before? Have you ever crossed paths with him? No, it's probably not even something that you would.
I have no desire. No, I get the closest. Yeah. I mean, I did go to the inauguration because it's an official.
I saw, yeah.
It's official congressional thing. I sat as far in the back as I could.
Okay.
I was like, I don't have any desire to meet him.
From your experience in politics, where do you see the greatest financial disparities, and what can be done about them?
There's so many. I mean, the gap between the middle class has just shrunk to almost non-existent. And the gap between sort of, lower income, working class people and the ultra wealthy is so big and getting so much bigger. To a point that we haven't seen since really the turn of the 20th century. So I think that the fact that so many people who work every single day and don't earn enough money to pay their bills is getting worse. And there are many things we can do. I mean, again, the big ugly law shifted so much of the federal investment and tax relief. So, last week I'm sitting in a energy committee meeting, and the Republicans are trying to roll back energy efficiency tax credits. So the tax credits that you get to replace your windows with more energy efficient windows, or replace your appliances, your heat pump and all of that. People who make between $44,000 and $95,000 a year could get a tax credit of up to $2,000 to do those kinds of things that make their energy bills go down.
Mm-hmm.
And they are bending over backwards trying to repeal those.
Stop it.
And yet they're like, oh, well, we're going to give, billionaires tax cuts so that they can exempt up to $15 million from their estate tax. Or we're going to give you, they wanted to give tax credits for boats or some
That's
BS like that. And it's like, I just don't understand. Like, you are nickel and diming people.
Yeah.
Who can barely afford to pay their bills now.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you're just throwing money at people who don't need it. It's just the priorities are all screwed up.
Well, I have an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to run it by you. I think that, because, just for context, Dubai is a man-made country, right? Mm-hmm. I think that us as Black and brown people, we need to find us a country, or we need to make a country. We don't need to tell nobody where it is. Nobody where it is, because, the revolution has been televised, but we've seen when the revolution has been televised, sometimes people come and they destroy the things that we built up. Because it's not like Black and brown people haven't built up places to live before and have thrived with like doctor's offices and planes like that go to that fly out from different airports. Like, we've done the things, but it's always been destroyed. So my thing is with this whole ownership conversation is, why don't we just build something, create it ourselves? It may take a while, and just live like that amongst each other. And maybe it may have to start with like a bartering system or something like that. And we just not depend on, I don't want to say depend on government, but depend on people who make these decisions on our behalf, and we just create it ourselves. And like a Dubai, like, in Dubai, they're not playing with you. If you steal something, your hand gets cut off. Like, like you can't do certain things there. So we're not going to tolerate any, any crazy stuff or any disrespect or crime or anything. But I just think that at this point, I'm agreeing with Malcolm. Maybe we need to go back to Africa. But then the other thing is, I'm not from Africa. The thing, I don't know anything about Africa. I'm an African American, but I don't know anything about it. So like, that's where my dilemma comes in. I don't want to necessarily, I would love to go visit Africa, but going back there, I haven't been there. My ancestors were from there. So I'm like, why don't we create something new? And
I haven't given up on the ideals of this country, and and it was literally built on our backs. And we have, and the story of our country has been, how do we make those ideals true for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
And we have made progress. I mean, we've made tremendous progress from when we started. To me, I owe it to the people who survived the Middle Passage.
Mm-hmm.
And who pushed to achieve those ideals, to carry that fight forward. That's where that's my perspective. And to me, just throwing up your hands and saying, like, will we give up? We're just going to go do something new. It makes their fight and their sacrifice, for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's my perspective. To me, I'm like, I believe in the ideals of America. I'm going to continue to push to make it true, because our democracy is not perfect.
Yeah.
But when you look at other forms of government, it's still the best one, because the idea of our Constitution was, how do you put a check on the worst instincts of human nature? And how do you keep those worst instincts from oppressing people?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're not perfect, because people still get oppressed.
Yeah.
But when you look at other forms of government, so do they.
Mm-hmm.
And this is still, in my opinion, if we can get that to the ideal, the best form of government to have. And, I was born here. My parents were born here. My grandparents were born here.
Mm-hmm.
This is my country just as much as anybody else's. I'm going to fight for it.
Yeah. Okay. And I think mine is more like a form of resistance. I'm a little more radical in that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I've seen I'm the last generation that has been around when the internet wasn't around. And then I'm seeing the internet here now. So I'm just like, it's so many things it's so many possibilities that we could do instead of keep going through the same thing over and over again. Not to say that we can't visit.
Yeah.
I don't mind visiting.
Yeah.
But I just feel like
and it's a debate as old as time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a few more minutes. One financial mistake that taught you the most. What is have you ever made a financial mistake that just taught you a lesson? Like, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah. I mean, so it goes back to your question about, cash or credit.
Yeah.
I think there have been times where I have thought I need to pay this off right now. And in paying this off right now, I've put myself in a position where I need more credit.
Gotcha.
And
kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul type of,
Yeah. Whereas if I had said, well, rather than pay this off right now, if I had financed it and stretched it out and had a little more money, then I wouldn't have that situation. So I've because again, you get, it's like, your boiler breaks and you're like, I'm going to pay for this $10,000 boiler right now.
Yeah.
And then, a few months later, you're like, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I maxed out all my credit cards and the financing for the boiler was going to be 6%, but on the credit cards it's 24%. Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
So what did you do in that situation? You had to figure it out.
I had to figure it out.
Could you phone a friend, call parents?
Cut back on stuff. Actually pay attention to that budget.
I got you.
Yeah.
If you had one completely free day with no obligations, how would you spend it? Who would you spend it with?
I would spend it with my family on a beach.
Okay, you like water?
I love
water. Grounds me.
I love water.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
What would y'all eat? What are y'all eating that day? Y'all ordering in or y'all cooking?
We're cooking. My husband and I are cooking together.
Okay.
Probably cooking Italian food.
Oh.
Actually, I've never been to Tuscany. Speaking of which, I've never been to Tuscany, but I do really want to go to Tuscany. So maybe instead of the beach, we'll go to Tuscany.
Okay.
And we're in a little villa and we're cooking and just relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they have beaches in Tuscany, so that might be a problem.
That's all right.
We'll figure it out.
This is your vision. So maybe we can install one just for y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you and your husband meet? I haven't heard that story. I think it may be interesting.
Through politics. So my husband
at work.
was, so he was a fundraiser on Tim Kaine's governor's race.
Okay.
Which was the year I ran for the House of Delegates. And we actually can't remember the moment we met, but there is a picture of an election eve rally where Tim Kaine, Dave, and I are all standing together. So we had to have met at a minimum then, but I don't remember that moment. Somebody took a picture of it. But then, so I get elected. He became the finance director of the Democratic Party of Virginia. And whenever I would go over to the party headquarters to do call time, he would show up offering me snacks.
Oh, okay.
And a friend of mine who worked there said, somebody has a crush on you, but she wouldn't say who it was. And then I started to figure out it was him.
Okay.
And so the Joint Democratic Caucus has a retreat every year at the Homestead. And I was sitting at a table with somebody that Dave had played golf with earlier in the day. And somebody else who was supposed to be there wasn't there. So he's like, why don't you go? Like, we should get that guy, to come sit here. So I went over to his table and I was like, I'm about to make your day. I was like, Reggie wants you to come sit at our table for dinner. And so we sat together. And that was the first time we really talked.
Yeah.
And by the end of the night, I was like, this guy's kind of
smitten.
cute.
Ooh, I love it.
We started talking and then started dating, and the rest is history.
And then got married. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've been listening to you talk, and I was like, that is a story that I haven't heard. So, also, if you do a lot of interviews,
I do.
What is a question that no one asks you that you're like, you go home and you're like, dang, I wish they would have asked me about that? Or like something you could just nerd out about? Because I know you like you call
I
yourself.
can nerd out.
I know you nerd out a lot.
I nerd out about a lot. That's a great question. I mean, anything. I'm very steeped in history and how our history connects to our present.
Yeah.
And so I think those are the questions I'd love to answer. And just talking about my own family history, but I don't know that there's a specific question.
Okay. You go think about it later. And be like,
probably at 3:00 in the morning.
Probably so.
Yeah, I should have been that.
Yeah. And then this is my little thing. I got 2 more questions left because you brought up something about Beyonce's mom reposting something that you said.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that, please?
I can't.
The queen is the queen, and
I
the
was
queen
very
mother
excited.
knows who you are.
I was very excited. So we have something called Special Order Hour, where one person or one caucus can control an hour of speaking on the House floor.
Okay.
And so a congressman from Maryland was doing a special order hour on the SNAP cuts in the Big Ugly Law. And I spoke.
Oh, so this was recent.
Yes, this was recent.
Okay.
And then I said in the speech, I said, the speaker says if you want to know his political beliefs, read the Bible. Well, I've read all of it. And what sticks out to me is Jesus' words in Matthew, what you do for the least of these, you do for me. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was sick, you treated me. When I was a stranger, you welcomed me. When I was imprisoned, you visited me. And that's not what we're doing in this Big Ugly Law.
Clock that.
And that's the clip that she shared. Because every time we speak on the floor, it's recorded. It's on C-SPAN. It's you can access it. And she found it. She saw it. I don't know how. I mean, I did post it, so I don't know if she saw my post, or if she just saw it somewhere else. And she posted it and just said, "Wow,
wow,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
wow."
Yeah, she didn't tag me though. But still,
Miss Tina, now she might. Some people. I think she might run her own social media.
Really?
So she may.
Well,
not...
first of all, let me just say thank you for seeing it and amplifying it. Like you made my niece thinks I'm cool now.
Yeah.
My kids got excited. Everybody got excited.
Yeah.
So.
I want to say she might not have known how to.
Well,
I don't know.
Follow me. So on the official side,
she follows you.
No, I don't know. I'm asking her to. Like,
please.
follow me.
Yes.
On the official side, it's Rep. McClellan.
Okay.
I'm on everything but TikTok.
You gotta get on TikTok
Eventually, right?
I feel like that's more like
eventually
funny.
I just don't want the Chinese to use my data, access my data, and use it to spread propaganda.
I mean. That shit.
I'm gonna
might
get it
have
eventually.
Sailed. That shit might have.
It has. I know. They probably already have it.
Yeah,
they already got it.
Yeah, we need to have you got to have a full content day through TikTok because they like the funny stuff. Like, I don't know. I think you would do well on it though.
So I did. Okay,
because you have like a bit of a dry humor.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. And
they love that.
So teaser alert, I guess.
Yes.
I did, and I do. I don't do all the trends. They have to make sense.
Yeah.
But I did one of the trends to announce my next Moments with McClellan guest. So Moments with McClellan is a little show that I do.
Yeah.
Where I interview, different members of Congress. We've done Virginia State's president. And it's kind of like, just get to know you.
Mm-hmm.
And so my latest guest, I'm not going to say who it is yet, but my latest guest, we did one of the trends.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, when is the episode coming out?
So week of Thanksgiving this week, yeah. So probably by the time.
So this probably won't be out until after that.
Okay, so yes, so I can tell you then.
Yes.
All right. So when yeah, we can cut that part out.
Okay. Oh, dang!
No, we don't have to cut. We don't have to cut that part. No, I do it. I do it. So my November Moments with McClellan, Chantel Brown, who's a good friend of mine from Ohio. Was my guest, and we did the trend, the backup dancer trend.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see that.
I was the singer.
You were the singer. Okay.
Yeah, I was.
Never knew love.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that trend. Yes.
And she was my backup singer, and we used that to say, I told Rep Brown, she could be my
Yes.
next guest if she was my backup singer.
I love that.
I haven't done. I want to do, but it's got to make sense.
Yeah.
The what's going on? Bees in the trap trend.
Okay, that surprised me.
Really?
That you want to do that one.
I do
yeah.
want to do that.
But
one.
I don't think I've seen the one that I was thinking for you would be when they tap somebody on the shoulder and they're like, you tap somebody on the shoulder and the person turns around and she's like, touch me again and I'll tell you exactly who I am. And then they start running, like it's like in an angry voice and they tap you again and you're like, hi, I'm Congresswoman McClellan and I represent the 4th District of, like it's kind of like one of those things where it's kind of baiting people into seeing what the altercation will be, but it's actually you explaining who you are.
I wouldn't do that. I mean, some of the trends I like. Now, you won't see me. A lot of my colleagues, they do like, there's a little train that goes between one of the office buildings to the Capitol.
Okay.
And there are a lot of people that like to dance on the train. I'm like, you're not going to see me dancing on the train. But I do, because I'm still... I am Capricorn. So we only get so wild. But
y'all, I mean, hey, not some of y'all get wild. Some of y'all get wild. But I feel like it's wild in the younger days. I know the Capricorns that I know that are younger, they get a little wild. But the more seasoned Capricorns, they done honed it in. You got everything out in your 20s and 30s and 40s, and now you like just doing your thing and whatever your profession is. Yeah. One last question.
Okay.
If you could sing or rap the lyrics to any song all the way through, what song would it be? I feel like you got some.
I mean, some of them I can. You stumped me.
No,
you stumped me.
Okay, what's your favorite song?
Well, the first one that came to mind was "Purple Rain," but I can't sing that all the way through.
Okay.
Anything Prince. I love
anything
Prince.
Prince.
I love Prince. Yeah. Love Tupac. I'm old school.
Excuse me?
I love Tupac.
Really?
Tupac was a poet.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And lyrical genius. And very, very deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some people think it's still alive, but
I mean, there's some people out there that have seen some sightings, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss Tupac.
Yeah. And Prince, I was interested. Did you know his story about like what happened when he passed away with his money?
Mm-mm.
Like he apparently he didn't talk to any of his siblings when he was alive. But he didn't have any things set up. Like he didn't have a will or a trust or anything. So all of his money went to his siblings that he didn't talk to because things weren't set up. And this is just a reminder to everybody. Like, especially if you have a big presence, if you're a big artist or whatever, get a trust in place so that you know where your money is going when you pass away. Because that's a legacy building. Like we talked about it before, generational wealth. Like that's how you build generational wealth. And his wealth is going, of course, to our people because they're Black, but like
that's not where he wanted it to go.
No. So anyways, I'm gonna end off on thank you so much for coming through.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Do you have any final word? Like I said that was my last question, but a final quote that's been getting you through it. A quote that you love. Yeah.
It's John Lewis. It's his final words to us, published in a op-ed in the New York Times after he died. Democracy is not a state. It is an act that requires every generation to do its part to build the beloved community.
I love it. Okay, cool. And make sure to also follow Congresswoman McClellan on all social media platforms.
Yes.
She's on Instagram. You're on Facebook. I think you're on YouTube.
X.
I subscribe to your channel
Threads.
today. Yeah.
There's too many, but
yeah.
And eventually TikTok.
Eventually TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once they right now we can't have it on our congressional phones. So once they allow us to put it on the congressional phone, then I'll get it.
Why you can't have it on your congressional phone? Oh, because
security.
Of the data risk.
Security risk.
Okay.
Yeah. Those Chinese can be tricky trying to get your data.
They absolutely can because it was a red balloon going across this day. Did they ever talk to you about that? Because you were on the committee, the energy. Did they ever say what that was?
No, it was I don't know, but it was, I was on the Armed Services Committee when they talked about it. I think it was just like I don't know.
Or is that what they want us to think?
I don't know. I think I missed that briefing.
I don't know. Well, we still don't know. So you know as much as us in that they just, I don't know. And before you go too, I wanted to give you a copy of my book.
Thank you.
It's kind of like rough draft-ish. but
you wrote one.
But I did write it. It's called Investing While Black, and it's a financial memoir. All the things that I did wrong.
Oh, good. Okay.
The things that I did good.
Thank you.
And it's self-published, so I just wanted you to have a copy of it. Just even if you just put it up somewhere and read it every so often.
Thank you.
Think of this amazing show.
I will.
When you do. And again, this has been amazing. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are available on all platforms. And tell people about the channel. And if you guys have anybody, the thing that I'm trying to do now is to make sure that I'm listening to what you guys want. So anybody who you guys want me to interview or want to bring up here, ask the hard hitting questions or ask the questions that you want to know. Please DM me. And yeah, so with that being said, peace, blessings, good night.